In January of 1985, a wonderful networking organization was formed, and they were formed on this basic principle that people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. People do business, KLT, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And in 1985, that made all the sense in the world. At the time of this recording, that is 41 years ago. 41 years ago. And I'm here to submit to you the concept that people do business with people that they know, like, and trust is currently killing entrepreneurs' business. It's hurting entrepreneurs' business. It's causing them problems. People have used this concept of know, like, and trust to behind, hide behind so they don't have to actually ask for any business. So they don't have to actually sell. They just hide behind, well, I'm getting to be known by them. I want them to like me. I'm just getting known and liked, and trusted, known, liked, and trusted. But they never go around to the part of where they have to actually sell. They have to actually ask for business. Where they have to actually offer something in exchange for money. They just focus so much on being known and liked as if that's enough. And I'm here to submit to you that it's not. People don't do business with people that they know, like, and trust. People do business all the time with people that they barely know. We go to restaurants, we don't know the chef, we don't know the owner, but we give them their money because we want the food. That's what we do. I preach and teach that know, like, and trust. Consider this thought. There are a lot of people that know you and like you a great deal, but they've never done business with you. Even if they know what you do, why not? Because knowing you and liking you is not enough of a reason to do business with you. They have to have a reason to. And there's a lot of people that you know, and you know what business they're in, and you happen to like them a great deal, but you've never done business with them either. Why not? Because you don't have a reason to do business with them. Knowing them and liking them is not enough. I'm going to teach you, and when I ask them, I'm going to teach you why they will do business. When I ask an audience, when I ask a group of people, why do you believe anyone would hire you and your services? Why do you think people would do business with you? They'll yell out things because I'm honest, because I'm hardworking, because I really, really care, because I'm so passionate, because I go the extra mile, because I get results, because I've done this for a long time, because I've been there and done that, because I'm certified, because I have a degree, because I have more than one degree, because I'm fun, because I'm funny. All of those things are great. And none of them are reasons to give money. They all are reasons to like you or respect you or maybe even admire you, but not enough of a reason to give you money. I'm going to give you now the 7 reasons why people historically and enthusiastically will give money in exchange for a service. These are the 7 reasons why people will historically and enthusiastically give money in exchange for a service. Number one is the word time. Time. If there's any part of your services that will help a person to either save some time in an area, or are there any results that they can expect to achieve faster because of you and your services, you should talk about that, because that's a good reason to do business with you, because you're going to save them some time or help them to achieve something faster. And for a lot of you entrepreneurs, that is true. If you have that, you should talk about that. Number two on the reasons of the 7 reasons why people will historically enthusiastically give money in exchange for is the word money. Money, money, money. Is there any part of your services that will help your clients to either save some money or earn more money or both? Will you help them to either save some money, earn more money, or both? If you do, you should talk about that, because that's a good reason to give you some of their money. And if you're good at what you do, if your service accomplishes the goals that you set out to accomplish, you're helping them to save money because they're not going to be wasting their money on things that don't work, or they won't waste their money chasing shiny objects. So if you're good and your service is good, you're right there, you're helping them to save money by keeping them from wasting it. And a lot of you, with just a little bit of creativity, you can see how you can help them do both, help them to save some money and earn money too. And if your service does any of that, you should talk about that because that is a good reason to give you money and to hire your services. So far, we got time and money. Number 3 on the list of 7 are the words good feelings. Good feelings. Is there any part of your services that will help your client or potential client to either feel better about themselves, like now? Will you help them to feel better about themselves, like now? And can you help them to imagine other people having a higher opinion of them, or both? The 65-year-old man that buys the red convertible sports car did not buy it because it had good brakes. He bought it because he imagines when he drives this car, he's going to look cool in it. And he also can easily imagine that when you see him pulling up in this car, you're going to agree with his assessment and say, yes, he looks cool. He can imagine others having a higher opinion, and he feels one himself. A man buying a financial plan for his family did it because he feels like, as head of the household, that's a responsible thing to do. And he feels good about taking care of his family. And he can also easily imagine that one day his wife or his children appreciating what dad did while he was alive. Good feelings can you help them to feel better about themselves, even if they've been messing it up until this moment. You're in a position where you can help them say, look, yesterday ended last night, but from today forward, we can, whatever it is. Time, money, good feelings. Number 4 on the list of the words solutions to a problem. Solutions to a problem. Not all the problems you solve. I'm asking you here, what is the big and obvious problem that is solved by you and your services? What problem is it that you want to be known for resolving? And that's what I want you to talk about. What is the big and obvious, for a lot of you, the big and obvious problem that you help your clients resolve is that they can't do it on their own. Now, a lot of you have more than one problem you solve, and that's great. I'm suggesting that you have a tip of the spear, a leading edge of one problem specifically that you want to be able to be known to be solving, and then you can introduce your other solutions afterwards. But you need something to lead with, a tip of the spear. That's number 4 of the 7. Number 5 is the words good health. Good health, Health, good health. Is there any part of your services that will help your clients to either improve their health in any kind of way? And for a lot of you guys, the answer is very obvious, especially if you're in fitness or nutrition. But some of you guys is not as obvious, but still just very much important. Can you help them to improve their health by either helping them to worry less or stress less? I need you to imagine that every client you're ever going to get from this point forward already has a very, very full plate. They already have a lot of things that they are already doing. They have a lot of things that they're responsible for. And you come along, I want you to see yourself that on top of all their responsibilities that they already have, I want you to understand also that they have on top of that, they have their worries and their stressors. I want you to see yourself as coming along and taking away some of their worries, taking away some of their stressors. A sentence like, if you'll let me help you, you won't have to worry about this thing nearly as much. Or if you'll let me help you, this stress, you won't have that stress nearly as much. A sentence like that is the kind of sentence that causes people to want to hire faster than just about anything else. They've been waiting for someone to say, if you'll let me help you, you'll be able to stress less, at least a little bit. That's an amazing sentence. Number 5 is good health. Keep in mind here, you don't need to have all 7. You only need to have one of the 7. But as many of these 7 you have, the better. You must have one. You must have at least one, but you don't need all of them. If your service solves 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, whatever it is, you should talk about that too, way more than you talk about how cool you are and how much fun you are. That's great that you're cool. That's great that you're fun. That's not a reason to give you money. That's a reason to hang out with you. That's it. Save you a seat. That's it. Not a reason to do business with you. Time, money, good feelings, solutions to a problem, good health. And number 6 is the word children. Children. Is there any part of your services that will help your clients when it comes to their children? Some of you guys is obvious because you're insuring them or protecting them. But others of you, it's less obvious, but still there. Sometimes the way you're helping your client when it comes to their children is you're helping your client become a better role model for your child, a better example for their child, less stressful around their child, demonstrating their child good behaviors. The parents become better role models. And if that's for you, you should talk about that too. And number 7 is pets, Pets, pets. People are willing to spend their money in service of their pets, health, recreation for their pets. Again, you don't time. Again, you don't need all 7, but as many of these you can, as the better. I want to say this to you here. The first book I wrote was in 2016. And 8 years later, and when I wrote that book in 2016, it was called The Shortcut, the fastest route to selling your services. But I'm going to say 6, 7, 8 years after I wrote that book, I realized, even though I thought that book was the end all, be all, a best book on how to sell your services, I thought it was amazing. But there's a whole part of that book I wouldn't even teach today because the way we buy today is not the same thing as it was in 2016, much less is not the same way it was in 1985. I'm here to tell you 40-plus-year-old concepts don't work as much as the concepts of what people use to buy today. KLT is killing so many entrepreneurs' business. Understanding why people will say yes is a much shorter, much direct route. And then also learning how to ask for the business directly. That's what we're going to cover in the next chapter.